we got to talk about Tua because this has put a lot of shade on the NFL, and it's put a lot of shade on medical professionals in the NFL, and it's put a lot of shade on some of these players. Let me just put it to you like this. If you're a quarterback in the National Football League and you're playing well, right? Tua's playing well. Tua looked really good this season. Team was 3-0, beat the Buffalo Bills, who most people were saying that the Buffalo Bills were absolutely unbeatable. People were like, who's going to beat the Buffalo Bills? Nobody's going to beat the Buffalo Bills. Miami goes out there, and they put up a good show against the Buffalo Bills. And then Tua gets injured. Looks like he got a concussion. Looks like he was whiplashed down. And it looked like he got a concussion. He goes into concussion protocol. And they release him. And a lot of people were surprised. I was not surprised. Because concussion protocol in the NFL is an absolute joke. Okay? I've had concussions before. And both times, look, like, I'm a stick, right? Or, I'm not a stick. But, like, I'm not an athlete, right? I don't have an athletic bone in my body. If I got a concussion, man, I'm out, right? And I've gotten concussions before. They hurt. And it was clear that I had a concussion. I knew I had a concussion, too. I could tell. And you're a quarterback. You go into the locker room. You got concussion protocol. They're doing the tests on you. By the way, the tests are basically like, follow my finger, right? Because I've had a concussion before. Follow my finger, and they'll kind of push you. And if you can't push back, well, then you've got a concussion, or there is an issue with you in some way. These NFL players are going to fudge concussion protocols. I've seen it before. I've seen it happen where a player clearly got a concussion. But they're thinking in their heads, right? If we're a team that might go 10, 11 wins, man, it's important to get higher seeding. And if my backup comes in, we're probably going to lose. Because most backups in the NFL, they're not high caliber players. So you're going to have a backup come in, and you're going to lose a lot of time. You're going to lose a whole game. Because if you're out with a concussion, you're out for the game. And you know what's going to happen? The media and the fans are going to be like, he's a pussy. He's a pussy for not going back into the game. And you as a player, you're going to get ridiculed for that. And it's really sad. It really is sad. So these players are thinking to themselves, I'm weak. I'm not a leader because I'm not going back out there with my team. I can play. I'm sure they can play with a concussion. I'm sure they can. I'm sure that they can play on adrenaline. Just get some sniffing salts in your back. That's what happens. They can fudge concussion tests. Now, I'm not standing here saying I blame Tua, but while the doctors should have taken him out, they should have taken him out of that Bills game. There's no doubt in my mind they should have taken him right out of that Bills game. And he shouldn't have continued to play. There's absolutely no reason why he should have continued to play. He clearly had a concussion. I know that he had a back injury. No, he had a concussion. Whoever the medical professionals who didn't pull him out and do the right thing and trust the dude, they made a mistake. Because they also costed him dearly. The NFL needs to make stricter policies in terms of concussion protocols. They really do. And what they did with Brian Hoyer on yesterday, on Sunday, because I'm recording this on Monday, they did the right thing. They did the absolute right thing. Pulled him out of the game. Now, Brian Hoyer, he's no Tua. But still. Also, the NFL, they try to make money off of these players. And when it all comes down to it, they would rather those players play. So no, the NFL does not care about concussions. They're only doing this to cover to cover themselves up for malpractice. The players need to understand that this is your health. Okay? If you miss a game, if you miss 2 games, it's not your career. Right? I know these guys might try, I might try to play during the playoffs with a concussion. That's dumb. Okay, this is your career. This is your career. Goes out and he plays against Cincinnati. Gets hit a similar way. Falls to the ground. Whiplash. Like, when he's doing this, dude, when he's like looking at his hands like that, I remember when I got a concussion. That was the first thing that I did. I looked straight at my hands because I was like, where am I? I was out for 3 seconds. So, malpractice, these players need to be educated about how important it is to pull yourselves out of these games. You are not a bad player. You are not a bad leader as a quarterback if you pull yourself out of one of these games. So, it's absolutely disgusting on the fact of the NFL. These doctors who, I understand that you really need a CT scan to see if a person has a concussion, but there are telltale signs. You can see it. You can see it. And no, I don't think that the NFL cares about players' health. I don't think they care about player safety. I think they just do it because they want to cover themselves up and make themselves look better. They're a corporation. That's what they do.